Welcome back to today's video. In this video, we're going to see Villa Leopolda, a $506 million French Riviera paradise. What does owning a house that is praised as one of the most prized in the world, with 20 acres of grounds with hundreds of cypress, olive, and lemon trees tended by 50 gardeners feel like? Villa Leopolda is one of the most magnificent mansions on the French Riviera, a gift from a sitting monarch to his loving mistress and set on more than 18 acres of ground. This magnificent property in Villefranche-sur-Mer has a lengthy history, unique culture, and a long list of former owners, both renowned, admirable, and extremely wealthy. This is the mother of all homes, and it is also one of the most costly in the world. According to Forbes, being one of the most interesting, distinctive, and expensive residences in the world is not unusual for the rest of the world to wonder what it is about this property that makes it so expensive, intriguing, and desirable. In 1902, Villa Leopolda was built for Belgian King Leopold II, from whom the entire property cost only 1 franc. It was then converted into a hospital in 1915 before being purchased by Giovanni Agnelli, the owner of Fiat and Ferrari, in 1950. After then, the home was sold to a banker, Edmond Safra. However, following his tragic death, his wife Lily was left with the house, which she sold to Prokhorov. The villa is currently owned by Mikhail Prokhorov, a Russian tycoon. In a systematic view of the French Riviera, France, Villa Leopolda is placed. You're probably wondering how big the world's third largest mansion is. This location has around 8 hectares of land, which is about the size of 8 football fields. It's difficult to comprehend how big this is. The villa stands on 10 acres of magnificent grounds that go all the way down to the resort of Villefranche, just a few kilometers from the Mediterranean city of Nice. It is known for having the best sea views in the south of France. Villa Leopolda was built by King Leopold II of Belgium and took its name from him. The Villa Leopolda estate is grown over 2 guest houses across 20 acres of grounds with countless lemon, cypress, and olive trees taken care of by 50 gardeners. Villa Leopolda is best known for one of its rumored owners, Bill Gates, the Microsoft entrepreneur, rather than for the king's gift to his beloved. The estate's front lawn is attractively maintained and encircled by a thick, well-kept tree line. The pink and beige steps leading up to the estate are the original steps Leopold had constructed. The mere size of the estate is mind-boggling, with numerous outbuildings, probably for storing all the rakes and lawnmowers, an outdoor kitchen, helipad, and commercial-sized greenhouse, also a pool house, and a guest house more enormous than the mansions of most millionaires. It also has an excessively sized swimming pool that faces a breathtaking view. If the elegant villa looks familiar, that's because it was featured in Alfred Hitchcock's movie To Catch a Thief. There are 11 bedrooms, including 14 huge bathrooms, antique furnishings, walkout terraces, and fireplaces. Other features inside the home include sporting courts, a bowling alley, multiple kitchens and dining rooms, a movie theater, and other touches like rare marble and period artwork. The olive, cypress, and lemon trees outside the house resemble mini orchards. The lush appearance of the environment requires the work of over 50 full-time gardeners, the majority of whom are able to live on-site in living quarters. The 80,000 square foot house is definitely one of the most impressive in the world. Many television programs, including Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous and VH1's Fabulous Life of, have highlighted Villa Leopolda. It has also been highlighted in a number of publications, including Forbes. There have been several rumors about who has and has not resided in the fancy home since it was built. Bill Gates is just one of the many people who have never called Villa Leopolda home, yet he is one of the most commonly placed people within the estate's walls. Regardless of who owns it, Villa Leopolda is unquestionably one of the world's great wonders. Now coming to whom owns the place now. Mikhail Prokhorov, a Russian billionaire businessman, tried multiple times to buy Villa Leopolda through Belgian real estate entrepreneur Ignace Meeuwissen. In the summer of 2008, Lily Safra ultimately accepted his bid of 370 million euros plus 19.5 million euros for the villa's contents. In July of 2008, initial reports about the sale of the villa incorrectly listed fellow Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich as the buyer. Later, Prokhorov denied that he had purchased the property. After being detained by French police in 2007 for allegedly offering prostitutes to guests at Courchevel, a ski resort in the French Alps, his spokeswoman stated he refused to do business in France. In the prostitution case, no charges were ever brought against Prokhorov. Following the 2008 financial crisis, Prokhorov sought to back out the transaction, which resulted in a lawsuit between Prokhorov and Safra over the €39 million deposit he had placed over the villa. This house has a lot of history. The magnificent estate was first established during the reign of King Leopold II of Belgium. The estate was given to the king's loving mistress as a present. Blanche Zelia Josephine de Lacroix was her full name, although she was more often known as Caroline Lacroix. This was where the two met for their shady encounters and where the king could get away from his family whenever he wanted. Upon his death, his family, disgusted by his bold and irreverent gift to a woman, not a royal, evicted the mourning mistress. They allowed King Albert I to begin using the home as his own. During World War I, the estate became a functional hospital for military soldiers injured on the front lines rather than a luxurious house. Therese Vitali, Comtesse de Beauchamp, took over the estate in 1919 and intended to renovate it, add to it, and bring to it its former magnificence. The new owner hired an American architect named Ogden Codman Jr., who purchased all 12 of the structures on the property and turned them into one elaborate estate. By 1931, his work was done, but due to financial constraints, he was obliged to rent the house. Isaac Walton Killam bought the mansion after the American architect died in 1951. He died soon after, leaving the mansion to his wife, who sold it to Gianni Agnelli, Fiat's president, and his wife. The couple sold the house to Dorothy J. Killam in 1963, who then sold it back to the woman who had first sold it to them. Dorothy Killam lived in the home until she died in 1965, worth more than $93 million. The house remained quite still until it became owned by Edmond Safra, a Swiss banker, and his wife in 1987. They lived in Monaco, not far from the home, and used it for their elaborate parties in excess. The home was once again remodeled and redecorated. When Safra passed, the house went to his wife, who tried to sell it in 2008 shortly after she inherited it. The buyer was said to be Russian billionaire Mikhail Prokhorov. There's a lot to say about Villa Leopolda, and a lot of it is amusing, some of it true and some of it fiction, but not all of it is proven. We know the mansion was built for a lover without his wife's knowledge. After his death, it was taken over by relatives, but it lay abandoned for many years. Lily Safra is said to still own the house, however there are allegations that she secretly sold it to a number of people, including Bill Gates. He has never verified this knowledge, although he visits the estate on a regular basis and resides within its numerous ornate walls. Another interesting fact is that the house was once used as a filming location. It became even more popular after being featured in the 1948 film The Red Shoes. The protagonist of the film is notably shown climbing the residence's famed steps, believing she is a dinner guest at the home of a powerful person before she is asked to become a celebrity. In 1955, the house was once used more in the incredibly well-made Alfred Hitchcock picture To Catch a Thief. This romantic thriller, starring Cary Grant and Grace Kelly, tells the story of a former cat burglar who tries to redeem himself by arresting a jewel thief who preys on vulnerable visitors to the French Riviera. In his 2014 memoir, Red Notice, the banker and financier Bill Browder recounted visiting Edmond Safra at the Villa Leopolda with billionaire Benny Steinmetz. Finally, it's not very well known that this home is considered a historical monument. It was registered in France because of a fascinating reason. The home features the style of Belle Epoque. The style was made very famous from 1871 to 1914, creating a reason for the house to become a historical monument in France. That's all about the staggering, stunning, and heart-stopping $506 million house. We hope you enjoyed the video, and do let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.